Imagine a life where no obstacle can halt your progress, where rivals bow and chaos bends to your strategy. This is not fantasy, it is mastery. But to achieve it, you must abandon illusions, embrace harsh truths, and wield power with precision. By the end of this, you will understand why the meek fail and the ruthless triumph. In the shadows of history, the most revered figures did not rise by chance. They became unstoppable. Yet most men remain trapped in mediocrity, shackled by indecision, fear, and self-imposed limits. Today, we expose the 7 brutal laws that will teach you how to seize command of your life and destiny, leaving weakness and hesitation behind forever. When men speak of influence, they often speak of friendship, loyalty, and love. They imagine that admiration and goodwill will pave the path to greatness, that if they are liked, they will be followed. But let me tell you a truth. Few dare to admit love is a fleeting emotion, fragile, unreliable, and often betrayed by the first whisper of temptation or the slightest hint of misfortune. Those who rely on love alone are like children building castles on sand, impressive for a moment, but doomed to collapse. In contrast, fear is a constant. Fear is immediate, primal, and enduring. Fear compels obedience when reason fails, and it safeguards authority even when affection has waned. Respect, carefully cultivated, reinforces that fear. A man who is feared yet respected becomes untouchable, commanding loyalty not from sentiment, but from calculation. He is a presence that cannot be ignored, a force that demands consideration in every decision others make. History is littered with examples of rulers who were adored but not feared, and they were overthrown with a whisper, a dagger, or the betrayal of those they trusted. And yet, those who mastered fear and respect carved empires from chaos and left legacies that endure centuries. Consider the delicate balance. To inspire fear without hatred requires cunning. One must never appear capricious or tyrannical without reason. Fear must be a tool, precise and deliberate. It is not enough to punish openly or indiscriminately. Such acts invite rebellion. The true master instills fear by demonstrating competence, decisiveness, and the willingness to act ruthlessly when necessary. Let your adversaries know that there is consequence for betrayal, delay, or weakness, and let them understand that you are unyielding, not out of cruelty, but out of an unshakable commitment to your objectives. Respect complements fear, creating a protective halo around your power. It is earned through visible skill, through the ability to foresee danger, to manipulate circumstances, and to act where others hesitate. Men respect those who possess intelligence and strategy because intelligence inspires awe, and awe is a form of fear that breeds obedience. To be respected is to be considered formidable, and when fear is woven with respect, the foundation of authority becomes unbreakable. People will follow you not because they wish to please you, but because they recognize that resistance would be unwise, costly, or even fatal. Now, consider why love alone is insufficient. Love is conditional. It is shaped by perception, emotion, and desire. Today, you may be adored, praised, and elevated on the shoulders of others' affection. Tomorrow, a single failure, a single slight, or a shift in circumstance can dissolve that affection entirely. Love offers no armor against envy, betrayal, or ambition. The masses may celebrate a kind-hearted ruler, but the cunning, the hungry, and the opportunistic will always seek a way to exploit that kindness. Only fear backed by respect provides protection. Only the perception of strength ensures that enemies hesitate and allies remain aligned. The lessons of history are clear. Rulers who trusted only in love perished at the hands of those who understood the power of fear. Consider Caesar, once celebrated by Rome, eventually fell not by lack of affection, but by the inevitability of fear and jealousy that his enemies could no longer suppress. The great conquerors of the world, the shapers of destiny, they did not rely on hearts to guide their way. They relied on strategy, ruthlessness, and the careful calibration of fear and respect. But wielding fear is an art, not a brute tool. instill it too harshly, and men despise you; too softly, and they disregard you. The wise practitioner of power uses small, calculated acts to demonstrate authority, letting others witness consequences without ever appearing arbitrary. Fear must be predictable, logical, and intimately tied to your perceived competence. It must be tempered with respect so that it does not erupt into hatred. Hatred is dangerous. It is the weapon that others will wield to bring down even the most calculated ruler. Understand this: love cannot be commanded, but fear can be managed. Respect is earned, but it can be enforced through demonstration. The combination of these two is the cornerstone of unstoppable authority. When men fear and respect you, they think twice before defying you. They weigh the consequences of their actions not against sentiment, but against the reality of your power. Even allies become cautious, careful, and thus predictable. You gain the ultimate advantage in every interaction, the ability to shape the actions of others without them realizing it. The man who seeks greatness must abandon illusions of popularity. He must embrace the fact that power is not a game of hearts, but of minds, of control, of strategy. A ruler who is loved may be celebrated in song, but a ruler who is feared and respected is remembered in history. The former fades like the morning mist, the latter endures like a fortress, impervious to the storms of time. And so, if you wish to become unstoppable, the first lesson is absolute. Do not seek love as your shield, nor adoration as your armor. Seek fear as your foundation, respect as your reinforcement. Command with precision, act with decisiveness, and let all who witness your actions understand that weakness is unacceptable, failure is unforgivable, and loyalty is a privilege, not a right. In this realm, the meek and gentle perish, the sentimental fade, but the one who masters fear and respect ascends to a position where even fortune dares not challenge him. The world outside is a battlefield, but the most formidable war is fought within. To become unstoppable, one must first conquer the self, for every weakness left unchecked is a weapon that others can wield against you. Consider this carefully. Ambition without discipline is like a sword without a hand. It may gleam, it may promise power, but it cannot strike. The unstoppable forge their minds, temper their emotions, and bend their impulses to their will, transforming themselves into instruments of precision, strategy, and relentless action. Self-mastery is not merely restraint, it is deliberate command over every aspect of your being. It begins with the recognition of your own weaknesses. Fear, doubt, indulgence, and desire, these are the chains that bind men to mediocrity. The average person believes that emotions are natural, that weakness is inevitable, and that surrendering to impulse is unavoidable. But this is the path of the powerless. The unstoppable see their weaknesses for what they are, vulnerabilities that must be studied, understood, and neutralized. They do not excuse their failings, they exploit them as opportunities for refinement. To master oneself is to understand the patterns of your mind, observe your thoughts, question your impulses, and dissect your motivations. Every decision should be the product of calculation, not instinct. When you feel anger rising, consider how it can be transformed into strategic advantage. When fear threatens to paralyze, examine how it can sharpen your awareness rather than diminish it. Desire is not to be denied, but directed. The disciplined mind channels passion into action, converting what would be distraction into fuel, what would be weakness into power. Self-mastery extends beyond emotion into action. Indecision is the enemy of influence. Hesitation allows rivals to act, opportunities to vanish, and chaos to dictate terms. The unstoppable move swiftly, but with deliberation. Every gesture, every choice, every word is measured, intentional, and executed with authority. To act without control is to invite disaster. To act with mastery is to create inevitability. Your enemies, allies, and the indifferent masses perceive not chance, but the precision of a mind governed by absolute discipline. Discipline demands sacrifice, and this is where most falter. The world seduces with comfort, distraction, and illusion, and men succumb to what gratifies them in the moment rather than what empowers them in the long term. The unstoppable reject the easy path. They embrace discomfort, endure hardship, and train themselves in the crucible of challenge. The mind sharpened through adversity is a weapon that no external force can dull. Every temptation resisted, every indulgence controlled, every fear faced is a step toward invulnerability. Consider the role of knowledge in self-mastery. A man who governs himself yet ignores the world remains incomplete. Intelligence, observation, and awareness of the tides of power amplify personal discipline. The mind that understands the forces around it can anticipate, manipulate, and dominate, but even knowledge without self-control is a tool of folly. The unstoppable combine insight with discipline, turning foresight into decisive action. They do not merely react, they preempt, and in preemption lies the heart of power. Time is also an enemy and a resource. The undisciplined waste it, squander it in triviality, letting the currents of circumstance sweep them where they will. The unstoppable govern their hours with the precision of a general marshalling troops. Each moment is allocated with purpose, every task executed to advance their agenda. In this way, they transform the abstract flow of time into a chain of victories, each step calculated, each decision compounding upon the last. Mastery of self and mastery of time become indistinguishable. They are the twin engines that drive a man beyond opposition. Yet, self-mastery is not the absence of humanity, it is its refinement. Compassion, courage, and ambition are not abandoned, they are harnessed. The uncontrolled man allows impulses to dictate action, giving strength to weakness. The disciplined man directs impulses to strategy, converting emotion into leverage, courage into calculated risk, and ambition into unassailable authority. In every confrontation, every negotiation, every challenge, the disciplined mind remains unshaken, perceiving danger without panic, opportunity without distraction, and truth without illusion. This is not a pursuit for the timid, for the road to self-mastery demands relentless honesty with oneself. Every flaw must be confronted, every fear dissected, every indulgence assessed. The process is brutal and the cost is high, but the rewards are immeasurable. Once a man has achieved this, he becomes unstoppable, not because the world bends to him, but because he has become unbreakable. His actions are deliberate, his vision unclouded, his presence commanding. Others may resist, schemes may arise, and fortune may shift, but the man who has mastered himself carries an inner fortress that no external force can breach. The world is rarely orderly. It is messy, unpredictable, and teeming with forces beyond your control. Most men recoil from chaos, trembling in the face of uncertainty, seeking comfort in rules, routine, and illusions of stability. But the truly unstoppable understand a fundamental truth. Chaos is not a threat, it is a weapon, and in its turbulence lies opportunity. To rise above all others, one must learn not only to endure disorder, but to manipulate it, bend it, and transform it into an engine of personal power. Chaos strips away pretense. It reveals the weak, the foolish, and the complacent. It exposes those who are unprepared, those who rely on fortune, and those who hide behind sentiment or convention. The unstoppable watch carefully as the world unravels, seeing what others refuse to see, hidden weaknesses, unexpected openings, and the seeds of advantage that only the bold can seize. While men of lesser vision panic, the disciplined and cunning see a battlefield fertile with possibility. To exploit chaos is to act where others hesitate. The masses flounder, confused by shifting circumstances, but the unstoppable move decisively. Every misfortune that strikes others can be converted into a tool. Every crisis is a lever to elevate oneself above the fray. It requires courage, yes, but not reckless bravery. Calculated audacity is the key. You must measure each risk, anticipate the reactions of others, and strike at the precise moment when opportunity intersects with necessity. Fortune favors not the timid, but those who can navigate instability with clear vision and resolute action. Understanding chaos requires perception, the ability to read patterns beneath the disorder. At first glance, events may seem random, but every upheaval carries rhythm, motive, and consequence. Those who exploit chaos most effectively are those who can anticipate the currents, predicting the movement of rivals, allies, and circumstance alike. This is not merely reactive intelligence, it is strategic foresight. It is the skill of seeing the world not as it is in the present, but as it will be in the next decisive moment. Timing is critical in exploiting chaos. Move too soon, and you risk miscalculation. Move too late, and opportunity vanishes. The unstoppable recognize that hesitation is the enemy of advantage. They develop the instinct to act when conditions are in flux, striking with precision before others have fully comprehended the situation. To harness chaos is to control the tempo of events, to dictate the narrative, and to shape outcomes while others stumble in confusion. But exploiting chaos is more than mere observation and action. It is also the cultivation of adaptability. Circumstance will never align perfectly with one's desires, and rigid plans crumble under the weight of unpredictability. The unstoppable are fluid, able to pivot, adjust, and respond to the unforeseen with ingenuity and speed. They embrace change, understanding that the world rewards those who flow with its currents, bending without breaking and striking with the force of one who has mastered both mind and circumstance. Deception and manipulation are essential tools in this endeavor. In times of disorder, truth becomes malleable, perception becomes power, and appearances can be wielded as effectively as swords. The cunning exploit the confusion of others, creating diversions, seeding misinformation, and guiding rivals into error. The chaotic environment becomes a stage, and those who understand the stage can control the actors, turning disarray into domination. History offers abundant evidence of this principle in action. Great leaders, conquerors, and strategists have risen not by avoiding turmoil, but by seizing it. When kingdoms faltered, when armies stumbled, when empires teetered on collapse, they acted. While others were paralyzed by uncertainty, they imposed their will, converted disorder into advantage, and left those who clung to order in the dust of irrelevance. The lesson is clear. Those who fear chaos are destined to be consumed by it. Those who wield it become untouchable. Yet, exploiting chaos demands discipline and patience. It is not a call for reckless opportunism. Every move must be calculated, every action deliberate. Impulsivity amidst disorder is disaster. Controlled decisiveness amidst upheaval is power. The unstoppable are aware of the delicate balance between aggression and prudence, between audacity and restraint. They understand that while chaos offers opportunity, it can just as easily destroy those who underestimate its force. One must also recognize that chaos is not uniform. It manifests differently in every domain: politics, business, human relationships, or personal ambition. The true master observes the peculiarities of each situation, adapts strategies to the specific contours of disorder, and acts in a manner that maximizes advantage while minimizing exposure. The world rewards those who can interpret the unique rhythm of each upheaval and respond with precision. To embrace chaos is ultimately to embrace power itself. While others cling to comfort, predictability, and illusion, the unstoppable move through uncertainty with clarity, purpose, and intent. They are undeterred by volatility because they have internalized mastery over their own minds and emotions, transforming fear into opportunity, confusion into strategy, and instability into dominance. Men speak often of virtue, morality, and righteousness, as though they are shields against failure, as if adherence to principle alone can protect one from the harsh realities of the world. Yet history proves otherwise. Those shackled by moral illusions are weak, their hands tied while rivals seize what they desire, their hesitation punished, their kindness exploited. To become unstoppable, one must abandon the comforting lie that morality can always dictate action. The truly formidable understand that necessity, survival, and power are governed by their own laws, not by the fragile rules of sentiment or convention. Moral constraints are a luxury, afforded only to those content with mediocrity. In the pursuit of greatness, one cannot permit conscience to delay judgment or compassion to hinder action. The world does not reward good intentions, it rewards results. The unstoppable understand that virtue is not the measure of capability, but the mask of the powerless. Men who cling to morality often fail when the moment demands ruthlessness, when hesitation is fatal, or when compromise is impossible. To dominate, one must be prepared to act beyond the bounds of conventional ethics, guided by strategy, necessity, and an unflinching will. This is not a call for chaos nor for indiscriminate cruelty. It is the recognition that morality is situational, and that unyielding adherence to conventional notions of right and wrong can be a prison. The unstoppable operate in the gray space between principle and pragmatism, choosing actions not by what is traditionally approved, but by what is effective. When deception secures victory, it is not betrayal, it is calculation. When force is required, it is not injustice, it is survival. The man who understands this sees the world with clarity that others lack, perceiving the true nature of power beneath the veil of societal expectation. To eliminate moral illusions is to free oneself from hesitation. The indecisive man weighs every choice against conscience, delaying action until the opportunity slips away. The unstoppable make decisions swiftly, guided by logic, consequence, and the objective pursuit of advantage. Every act, even those that might be deemed cruel or ruthless by others, becomes a tool for achieving dominance. In this state, hesitation is impossible, uncertainty is minimized, and effectiveness becomes absolute. The necessity of this approach is evident in human behavior. Allies betray, rivals conspire, and fortune is fickle. A man bound by moral hesitation is paralyzed, while others act decisively. History is full of leaders who failed not because they lacked intelligence or vision, but because they allowed morality, sentiment, or idealism to dictate their choices. Meanwhile, those who abandoned such illusions, who acted with clarity and purpose regardless of societal judgment, achieved what others could only dream of. They understood that the world is not inherently fair, and that justice is a human invention often wielded to restrain the ambitious. This law extends beyond overt action into perception and strategy. The unstoppable recognize that appearances can be manipulated, that morality can be a tool when wielded carefully. They may present themselves as virtuous when it serves their agenda, cultivating trust and admiration, while acting decisively behind the veil of necessity to secure their objectives. This duality is not hypocrisy, it is mastery. It is the art of navigating a world where rules are mutable, sentiment is malleable, and the ambitious cannot afford the constraints of conscience when survival is at stake. In practical terms, eliminating moral constraints allows one to exploit opportunities others cannot. Negotiations are approached without attachment to fairness, rivals are outmaneuvered without remorse, alliances are formed and broken without sentimentality. The unstoppable weigh outcomes, not intentions. Every action is measured by its strategic value, every choice filtered through the lens of advantage, and every risk calculated against potential reward. The man who acts with such ruthless clarity becomes a force that cannot be deterred by convention, sentiment, or popular opinion. Self-perception also shifts under this principle. The man bound by moral illusions doubts his capacity to act decisively, hesitates in moments of crisis, and fears judgment. The man free from these illusions understands the primacy of action, the necessity of pragmatism, and the inevitability of conflict. He moves through life unshaken, capable of bold decisions that others would consider unthinkable. In doing so, he cultivates an aura of inevitability, a sense of authority that commands obedience, respect, and even fear. Finally, eliminating moral constraints is not a rejection of ethics altogether, it is a rejection of their blind enforcement. The unstoppable understand that ethics are tools, context-dependent, and subordinate to the higher laws of power, strategy, and survival. The world will not reward the hesitant, the compassionate without discretion, or the man unwilling to act beyond convention when the stakes demand it. To rise above, one must act decisively, perceive opportunity where others see risk, and govern oneself by necessity, not by illusion. This law, like all others, demands discipline, clarity, and courage. It requires the willingness to confront uncomfortable truths, to recognize that the rules society preaches are not always aligned with the rules of success, and to act in accordance with reality rather than sentiment. Only those willing to embrace this brutal truth, to see morality as a tool rather than a cage, can navigate the world with unstoppable force. To become unstoppable is not a journey of comfort, nor a pursuit guided by sentiment or hope. It is a conquest of the self, a mastery of circumstance, and a relentless assertion of will over the world. The weak cling to love, morality, and luck, believing that virtue or affection will shield them from the harsh realities of power. The unstoppable understand that these are illusions, that the world bows only to those who act decisively, think strategically, and wield influence without hesitation. Fear and respect, once mastered, create a foundation no rival can undermine. When men tremble yet admire, when loyalty is tempered by awe, authority becomes unassailable. Self-mastery, the control of mind, emotion, and impulse, ensures that no distraction, temptation, or weakness can compromise your ascent. The disciplined mind sees clearly, moves deliberately, and acts with the precision of a general who has anticipated every turn of battle. Chaos, far from being a threat, is transformed into a tool of advantage. The world's disorder reveals opportunity to those who dare to observe where others panic, to act where others hesitate, and to exploit circumstance with calculated audacity. The unstoppable move through uncertainty not as victims of fortune, but as masters of inevitability. Every misfortune, every upheaval, every trembling rival becomes a lever for ascent, and every action taken amidst disorder compounds their power. Finally, morality is revealed as a construct, a chain for those unwilling to act beyond convention. The unstoppable understand that the laws of men, the whispers of conscience, and the illusions of virtue cannot dictate their path. Action is guided by necessity, strategy, and the pursuit of dominance. To rise, one must act without hesitation, manipulate perception without remorse, and prioritize effectiveness over sentiment. Only then does a man achieve a state of unstoppable force, where his presence commands the world and even fortune dares not challenge him. To walk this path is to embrace truth in its rawest form, that the world rewards the ruthless in strategy, the disciplined in action, and the courageous in vision. Those who internalize these laws, who shed the illusions of love, morality, and chance, will no longer be constrained by the weakness of ordinary men. They will rise above hesitation, manipulate circumstance, and command both fear and respect. They will become unstoppable,